hold on, I know riding this bike off-road seems really tempting. And because I have been doing that, I know it is tempting. But let us first welcome you to our channel and introduce you to the 390 Adventure. Oh, that's done? Fine. Then special thanks to KTM Baner for providing us this bike for this review. You can visit their dealership without any worry because they will keep your safety in mind. They are sanitizing all the bikes inside the showroom as well as the bikes available for test rides. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring that bell so you never miss an update from Rev Explorers. And you can also go ahead and check out our Instagram, Facebook and Twitter pages. We would love to have a chat with you. In fact, if you follow us there, you will have the updates when we were actually shooting it. So the 390 Adventure gets an LED headlight and LED DRL just like the 390 Duke. Along with that are the LED turn indicators and this adjustable visor to reduce the air drag. With that you have 43mm WP Apex upside down forks. Now these are not standard forks that you get to see on Dukes and the RCs. They have a long travel for the Adventure profile. And on the Adventure you get a 19-inch black coated alloy wheel and it has a 100/90 section Metzeler Tourance mounted on it. So it is a dual sport tire which can be used on the highways as well as these rough roads or the off-roads. And just like the other 390s, you have a 320mm disc brake. Now it is a dual channel ABS setup with cornering ABS. So actually KTM has put in everything in terms of electronics in this bike. And from the side profile, it just looks amazing. The tall Adventure that can conquer any off-road. It gets a 14.5 litre fuel tank and has a fuel efficiency of somewhere around 25 kmpl. Trust me, we have been using it really rough and that is why the fuel efficiency has gone even more down. Now powering this 390 Adventure is the same 373cc engine which delivers 43.5 PS of power at 9000 RPM and a 37 Nm of torque at 7000 RPM. And KTM says that the gearing ratio for this bike has changed, so it is more suitable for your adventures. Well, it is mated with a 6-speed gearbox and you have a good bash plate in the front so that you don't bump your engine or your exhaust pipe on any of the stones. The ground clearance of the bike is 200 mm, so you can easily take it on any rough roads as well as off roads like we are doing right now. Now this bike is not heavy because in the center it has the split steel trellis frame and it weighs just 162 kgs. That is the dry weight of the 390 Adventure. What else is different on this bike are these sawtooth foot pegs and the brake pedal. Now it has been done for added grip because when you are riding it off roads in dirt or in mud, your shoes tend to get dirty. They slip on the foot peg as well as the brake pedal. So you can actually remove this rubber and use just the sawtooth on both of them for added grip. The bike gets a split step-up seat, but don't mistake it for a hard seat. It is a very soft and comfortable seat. In fact, the rider seat is very long so that you can easily ride for long duration. As well as you have these big grab rails so that the pillion can hold on to it. And you can also use them to mount the panniers as well as the top rack. To make it even more fun on the off-roads is a WP monoshock in the rear. And guess what? This one also has a long travel. And then there is this sweet side-hung single barrel exhaust. Let's check out the sound of it. At the rear you have this 130/80 Metzeler Tourance which is a radial tire and it is mounted on a 17-inch black coated alloy wheel. Now you might be wondering, it is an adventure bike, why it has alloy wheels? Well, there are two pointers to it. First, the alloy wheels are lightweight. Secondly, it is not the 90s that your alloy wheels will break on these kind of off-roads. And if you still feel that you want these spoke wheels, you can get it changed in the KTM Power Parts. At the rear, you have the LED tail lights and the LED turn indicators. Now let's quickly get onto the saddle and check out the instrument cluster. And as I already said, it is a decently comfortable saddle. Now the saddle height is 855 mm. You can see both of my feet on the ground, but because we are on the rough roads. On a normal road, I also have to do a tiptoe and I am above 5'9". If you are 6+, it is a very comfortable bike for you. And if you are 5'5" and above, you can easily ride it. So let's check out the instrument cluster. Now before we start with the instrument cluster, I'll tell you that you have an option to mount the GPS or your phone holder, and it is available as the KTM Power Parts, as well as you get a 12-volt charging socket. So it is a touring as well as an adventure bike. And just like the Duke 390, you have a TFT instrument cluster with a digital tachometer, digital speedometer, digital fuel gauge and temperature gauge. We have actually finished all the fuel in it. Anyways, we'll have to refuel it again. Along with that, there are multiple indicators on the left hand side and the right hand side. So on the left hand side, you have the engine malfunction, ABS, traction control, neutral, as well as turn indicator. On the right hand side, you have the engine oil pressure indicator, high beam indicator and information indicator. Now let's check out the features of this bike. Now everything is controlled from the left hand side with these controls. So you have multiple things over there, the KTM MyRide. So you have the audio, navigation as well as the pairing with the phone. So you have turn by turn navigation, you can control your audio as well as get phone notifications on the screen. For the motorcycle, you have the MTC, that is the traction control, you can turn it on and off. Then you have the ABS, which is road and off-road. So on the off-road, it is just single channel ABS or in the supermoto mode. And then you have the quick shifter plus that you can also turn on and off. And in the settings, you have multiple options for quick selectors, Bluetooth turn on and off, display theme, so you can actually go from automatic to night. You have the shift light, that is the RPM shift light, and the clock and data units, kilometer per hour or miles per hour, language, service information, and then extra functionality for the cornering ABS as well as the traction control. So a fully loaded bike. And on the handlebar, on the right side, you have the kill switch and the single touch self start switch. And just like the Duke 390, you have the adjustable brake lever and the clutch lever. There are knuckle guards on the Adventure 390, but we got it removed. On the left hand side, you have the pass switch integrated with the headlight control. You have the instrument cluster controls, the turn indicator control and the horn. So it is a single tone horn. I mean, it is an adventure bike and a tourer as well. It should at least get a loud dual tone horn, but you can always get it aftermarket. It's time to take this back onto the ride and for you to enjoy some more cinematics. But before we do that, definitely wear your helmet and follow. I mean, on off-road there are no safety rules, but yeah, do wear these jackets and everything so that if you fall off, the bike can be repaired, but it is painful for you. This bike is a combination of a tourer and an off-roader. So before we test its off-road capabilities, let's check out how good it is as a tourer. Starting with riding ergonomics, you get a very big rider seat, and I can say that you have some amount of room to move around. The neutral set foot pegs and the wide handlebars give you a good seating posture. You are very comfortable on this motorcycle. It feels like a taller version of the Duke 390. Surprisingly, it is very comfortable. You can easily cruise around at high speeds. The bike is very stable, and because of the long travel suspension, if you even hit a bump hard, not much travels to you. The suspensions take care of it. The engine is also super refined and smooth. At start, you have this linear progression which is helpful for the off-roads, but when you pin down the throttle, the first punch comes in at 4000 RPM and the other one at 8000. After that, this bike also flies like the Duke 390. And then comes the slick 6-speed gearbox with quick shifter plus. While you are cruising, you really don't need it, but well, your mood might change. And then it is the dance of the Phoenix. No clutch needed, just aggressively upshift or downshift at your will. And it does the job well. The gearbox is super smooth and so is the clutch. As far as the safety goes, well, KTM has put in everything. This bike gets a dual channel ABS with a cornering ABS, and just to add a cherry on the cake, you do get traction control. Loaded with all kinds of electronics, and to sum it up, braking is superb. Inspires a good confidence in you that you can go fast even in the corners and it will come to a halt. The rear as well as front both have an amazing bite as well as feedback, and no unnecessary intrusion of ABS, but when you need it, it is available. As I already said, the bike is very stable and feels very planted on the highways. And if you raise this visor, the air drag is further reduced. Along with that, there are many add-ons you can use on your long ride adventure, like the GPS or mobile mount, the 12-volt charging socket, and then there is this multifunction TFT. On this bike, you can effortlessly cruise above 120 with a pillion. Talking of which, the pillion seat is also very comfortable, slightly small but good. The only thing I felt was the buzz on the foot pegs and handlebars. Not really sure if it is this bike or the 390 Adventure, cause lastly I was riding the Duke 390 and it felt really smooth. Oh shit, did I give a spoiler? Well, the Duke 390 is also going to hit the channel really soon. So stay tuned and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring that bell so you never miss an update from Rev Explorers. Now, where were we? Yeah, the vibrations. Well, I can feel the buzziness and that is slightly tingling. Anyways, time to hit the off-roads now. With the help of this wide handlebar, you can easily control and maneuver the bike off-road. It doesn't really go out of your control. The seat is very comfortable, not just for me but for the pillion as well. Assisting to the comfort are the long travel WP Apex suspensions. I mean, it is really easy to sit and continue riding on the off-roads or maybe a stretch of long rough road. And when you are really jumping into the gravel, well, you will have to stand. And as per my height, I feel that there should be handlebar raisers because you have to slightly bend, which might become discomforting when pushing long off-roads. The position of the foot pegs is apt and you get a good grip on the tank, so no need to worry on that part. When you are off-road, don't forget to switch to off-road mode in the ABS and turn the traction control down to have all the fun. Because the engine is really powerful, with a slight practice you can slide or even glide on this off-road. Now remember, I said in the initial rev range the power delivery is linear. Well, it is for off-roads like this, because if you pin the throttle down, man oh man, you will have a good wheel spin and a good slide. But the best thing is, you can easily counter it. The handling characteristics are really good, and because it is light in weight, it is easy to control. But remember, it is a tall bike. The only thing I observed on the off-road is that despite of KTM tweaking the engine and gearbox, the bike seems to stall sometimes while you are taking it uphill on a rocky terrain. So you are forced to use the smaller gear and you end up using first and second. But nothing to complain, because this bike is more inclined towards being an excellent tourer, and if they tweak the gearing ratio even further to make it more taller, it will be a fantastic hardcore off-roader. These tires and the brakes are just amazing, because it has rained like hell today. With so much slush and water pouring, neither do the brakes give up nor does the grip from the tire. Today's ride has been a real test of the adventure. We were riding it in the city, on the highways, through the water and slush, on the rocks, and it never gave up on us. Technically, there is nothing missing on this bike. It is the complete package, and you need not worry about the alloy wheels, because trust me, we have tested them hard and all works well. In the end, all I can say is one day was not enough with this bike, and it will fulfill all your daily riding needs as well as show you the other side of the adventures. And I am happy to announce that this new cooling system with dual fans is really effective. It maintains the temperature of the engine and won't let you feel the heat. So all in all, it is an absolutely amazing tourer and a good soft off-roader. Our ride with the 390 Adventure has come to an end. Well, technically not for us, but for you it has come to an end. So if you like this bike, you can get it too at just rupees 3.04 lakhs ex-showroom Delhi. Now today I am not going to say I am sad because I still have 4 or 5 hours more left with this bike to ride on, and I am going to do so. So I hope you did like this video and you have given it a thumbs up. And if you are new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring that bell so you never miss an update from Rev Explorers. You can also get in touch with us on our social media pages on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. We would love to have a chat with you. And if you still have any doubts or any queries, you can just put it in the comment section below or just get in touch with us on our social media pages. We would love to reply to you. Last but not the least, we'll see you again in the next video. Till that time, stay home and stay safe. Bye bye. I'm going on a ride. Oh, sorry. Bye. भैया हेलमेट दे दो प्लीज, कैमरा वाले भैया. It's time to go on a ride. Bye bye.